Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set up and make the sweet potato pie. I got my sweet potatoes out of the oven. They cooked for about over 2 hours, I believe. So I believe you can see them there, but let me just bring them a little closer so you can see them. So if you could touch them, you can see they're super soft. What I'm going to do is just crack them open. And I'm going to need 2 cups of cooked sweet potato. That'll actually make 3 pies, but I'm going to cut down on a few other items. So let's see how much filling I have. Let's see here. Well, I thought I had everything that I needed, but I need a knife. 1 second. Okay. I'm going to switch places so you all can see what I'm doing. I think that's in frame there. And I'm going to just open this up. It's probably better if you let it cool off. I didn't let it cool off that much. I'm just going to use this measuring cup here. Try to make sure I have 2 cups. Now you can also go ahead and eat the rest of this for dinner if you would like to, you know, if you're trying to have a healthier meal. Now I made sweet potato pie last year and recorded it. That was one of my first videos. So that makes just about 1 cup. I'm going to put it in my bowl. And that was my larger potato, so I might not have a full 2 cups worth, and that's fine because again I'm going to trim this recipe to make 2 potatoes, which it's supposed to make 3 potato pies. So where did my knife go? I'm also going to try to make a healthier version of this, so to be my first time, and this is my granny's recipe, so I'm gonna just change it up. And what I'm going to be doing is omitting the white sugar, and I'm going to use coconut sugar instead. So if I sit here and scrape this all out, I'll probably get my full 2 cups, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to take these pieces. So here's my 2nd cup, which is not a full cup, but it's going to work. So that's the first piece. This is still hot, so I'm going to get it out of the way. Okay, so there's my 2 cups of potato. It says we need to cream that, and then we need to add the other ingredients and mix those together. So let me plug up the mixer. Oh, it's already plugged up. So creaming it will help get the few strings out of it. So give me 1 second to do that piece. Okay, so here are your strings from the potato, which is not a whole lot, so I'm not even going to worry about rinsing it off. I'm going to go on to the next step, which is to add the sugar. And here's the replacement that I'm going to use for the white sugar. And it says for 2 cups of potato to add 2 cups of white sugar. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add, this has gotten kind of chunky. I'm not sure what's up with that, but that's okay. I'm going to add 1 cup of coconut sugar. So I'm just measuring that out. It might not even be a full cup. So this is what I'm adding, is a cup of coconut sugar. Okay. And see, it's kind of even stuck in there, so not all of it even went in there because I didn't clean out my container, my cup, my measuring cup. It asks for, after this, to add a tablespoon of vanilla. So let me grab a big spoon. Alright, so this is just a teeny bit left out of the container. I'm gonna, oh, it's just enough, so I'm gonna dash that last little bit in there. So there's my vanilla, and then the recipe asks for 2 sticks of butter. And again, I'm trying to make this a little healthier. I'm going to add 1 stick of butter. It's softened. I let it sit on the stove for a little while everything was in there, just for a few minutes. So this comes out to 1/2 cup of butter. So there's my butter. And then I need to add eggs. So the recipe calls for 4 eggs beaten. I am going to change that and put 2 eggs. Because my eggs are a large size. Uh-oh, and I almost lost one of them. One of them cracked before I got it over here, so now I got a little bit of a mess to clean up. Okay, I'm still using my 1 cup measuring tool here. And I'm just going to use this to beat my eggs. I only use 2 eggs. Okay, it asks for 1 can of condensed milk. And it should be evaporated milk. So use the evaporated milk, not the sweetened condensed milk. Or if you do use condensed milk, make sure you don't use sweetened because it'll just be too much. And for now, I'm going to start with 1/2 of a can. I'm going to beat it and see what my consistency is, because that 1/2 of a can might be enough. And this is also where you can add cinnamon or nutmeg if you like those things for your taste. And I am going to add just a little bit of cinnamon. And I'm going to add a teensy pinch of nutmeg. Not a lot, just a tinge. Okay, so now I'm going to just beat this together. So everything is mixed. I'm going to take a spoon and finish it up. Just knock everything off the sides. Make sure that butter is in there good. If you notice, it's got a little bit of a dark color, whereas normally it'll come out more orange. So using the coconut sugar, and then also putting cinnamon and nutmeg, those items are brown in color. My stove was preheated to 325. I'm going to cook it a little lower than 350. So I'm going to use 325, and the directions say to cook it for 40 minutes. So I'll check it probably at 30 minutes and see how it's doing. And I had taken my pie crust out. I'll just show you what I use. So I just use store-bought deep dish pie crusts, ready to fill. So you just separate those, fill them, go ahead and stick them in the oven, and then just watch them. Once it starts browning on the edges or gets to the hardness that you desire, they'll be done. And then you just let them sit so they can harden a little bit. I'll go ahead and pour one so you can take a peek at how it looks. See here. I'm excited because I'm cutting back on some of the sugar and some of the items that make it a little bit bad for you. I did see a young lady, Health with Keisha. She has a, I think it's a sweet potato pie recipe. She actually puts pumpkin spice in it too, which is probably pretty good, or pumpkin seasoning. Some people also add a tad bit of flour. You could add like maybe a little coconut flour if you want it to be thick. So that's it. I'll be back to show you how it turns out and tell you how it tastes. Okie doke.